What's going on, everybody? It's Auston Holleman back with another live stream today. How's everybody doing? If you're watching, put a one in the chat for me. Today, we're going to talk about a serious topic that I saw in um, Think Smart Financials or One Master Teacher in his Facebook group. And somebody brought up this topic that they feel like Latin America is turning into North America. And I want to give my input on it. And I'm going to give people a chance to call in. And I want everybody to give me some valid feedback. And second, I also shout out to One Master Teacher. If you have not subscribed to his channel, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. What's going on, DeSantos? Shout out to Vibe with Fred. I'm going to review another one of his videos today. And when we get about 100 people in here, we're going to get this started. I'm going to drop the call-in link once I get through reviewing and talking about this. Because if I let y'all call in right now, we're not going to get nothing done. So let's review this first. I'm eating acai. For everybody's been to Brazil, acai is the most addictive fruit they got out here. It's almost like ice cream, but it's not. I put granola, banana, and strawberries in mine. I can eat this all day. I eat this so much. When I go to the bathroom, it'll be purple. When I first tried it, that's how much I ate of it. Especially back in May. When I was in Rio back in May, every time I went to the bathroom, it was purple. Every time. So, right now we have about 77 people watching. So let's go ahead. Yeah, it was purple. And let's go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to drop a video right after this live, probably an hour or two after this live is over with. Let's share the screen so that way you guys can see what I'm seeing. Now, photo one. I'm gonna blow this up real big. I won't be reading the chat because I'll be reading the photo. So let's look at this. Shout out to Think Smart Financials Facebook group on Facebook once again. Shout out to One Master Teacher or Skylar, as he's also known as his first name. Shout out to Rocky Cyrus for bringing up this topic. This is a good topic to discuss. Now, just a tip from dating women in South America and Colombia, and one in particular for 7 months. I've been back and forth, flew her out to mine, whatever that is, flew out to mine, etc. So that's been a real thing, not a crazy one night stands, one weekend summer type of thing. So what he's saying here is this chick that he's been, I guess he's just giving some context. The chick here that he's dating is not just some chick that he's smashing and passing or just, oh, when I come to Brazil, this is who I'm going to see for a little bit. Like this is, if he's flying her out, this must be somebody he's seriously dating to marry. I'm not flying nobody in Colombia, in this case, was it like 1,500, 2,000? Either way, I'm not flying your ass out of the country if we're not serious. And I'm for sure not flying nobody out in Brazil unless I'm trying to marry you, because I don't need to smash nobody that bad in Brazil to the point where I fly him out, because when you start weighing your options, like, why would I fly her out when I could just wait and something will pop up in my city that I'm in right now, if not solely the neighborhood. The landscape of dating in Latin America is changing, word is spreading, and essentially we people that are dating in these places are becoming our own worst enemy. So what I'm understanding from right there, what he's saying is all these passport bros going down to Latin America is slowly changing it into what we have in the United States, which is not unrealistic. You got a lot of dudes that are going down here with this blue pill bitch mindset, and they are telling all these beautiful women that how beautiful they are, and baby, you shouldn't have to do anything. You shouldn't have to cook. You deserve this. That motherfucker don't deserve shit. You don't even know her. She could be the same chick that I be having sex with two dudes at the same time, and she don't know who the daddy is. What the hell does she deserve? She deserves to never be able to reproduce again. Anyway, I would agree with him with that. The more Americans, that's why I try to go around and review different cities. I could have stayed in Rio and blew up Rio even more, even though Rio's already blown up. Not blown up for America, but it's blown up. Everybody knows about Rio. When people think about Brazil, they think about Rio. That's why I try to go to Recife, Salvador, Rio. I'm gonna go to Sao Paulo. I'm gonna go to Manaus. I'm gonna go to Belo Horizonte. I'm gonna go as many places I can go in Brazil. I'm gonna go to as many countries as I can in the world because everybody has different tastes. I don't need everybody coming to Brazil. Not that everybody would, because not everybody can afford it. But if everybody comes to one spot, aka Dominican Republic, Colombia, those will be those places. I've been to Colombia already, but Republic will be like one of the last places I go to because there's already so many of us. So I think I can have a good hypothesis that it's going to be similar to the United States. That's if you're dating for the long run. If you're out to hit some ass and run, you're good. I would disagree with that because in the United States, in my experiences, there's not a lot of smashing and passing going on, okay? Because the chick standards are so high and the flake rates are so high, the bullshit is so high in the States, you're not even smashing and passing. So if these places are starting to become like North America, I don't even know it that makes it even hard to smash and pass. Okay, but it's some places Brazil is so large by itself. I don't see it ever becoming America. It might become slightly Americanized. Staying away from English helps. Asking women the right questions right off the back, like what do they? Do you know how to cook? How often would you cook for your man? If you're dating for the long term, that can weed out a lot of those women. The biggest problem, there is so many passport bros mining Latin America, you wouldn't believe it. So many of these women might be humble, down to earth, whatever we all expect. But the downside is they are literally starting to spoil for choice. Essentially, the problem we have in the West following bros to Latin America. So what he's saying by that is, let me keep reading because this is going to follow up. This means that while you date a girl, she's weighing her options and getting tons of messages from men around the world, which is what women in the States do. Yes, they feel like, and that's why they're going to die alone. Let's throw that in there too. They feel like, oh, because I saw this and this guy, this billionaire or millionaire fucked me. I feel like I can just wait a little longer, and even though there's that's 1% of the population. These women are very delusional. Okay, there's not enough high value men for all you motherfuckers to have one. On a global scale, okay, 1% of the world is going to be in this category that these women, these delusional women, want. Okay, 1% is available to, let's say, like what, 80% of the women that might want that. No, so it's literally just the women thinking that they can hold off, and that's what women in the States do. They try to hold off and hold off. I'm gonna hold off until I'm gonna die alone until I get what I deserve, when they really don't deserve shit because you ain't shit. Let's just throw that out there. The majority of women holding off for men ain't shit, and I don't even know why they holding off. But what he's saying is, for example, let's say the more I blow up Brazil, the amount of Americans in Rio triples in the next year. Naturally, after so long, those women will start to switch up on their own men a little bit. Not all of them, because some of them like their own men, a good majority of them. But there's some of them that will, I'm only going to wait on an American. I can just wait on an American. I'm going to learn English. I'm going to wait on an American. I know how to act when they get here. Uh, but the amount of time that would actually take to happen, I don't know. I still think it's very easy to find a chick to marry in Brazil. Okay. I'm weighing my options. I've met one chick I'm interested in marrying, but I still got to keep dating. I'm not going to just jump right on the first one that I found. I have to see her for a while. So I think we're the ones weighing our options and not so much these women. No, they don't even think they're as beautiful as they are. So they can't weigh their options. And if they're trying to weigh their options, you can usually see that. Like those women carry a certain demeanor, and it's usually foolproof when it comes to being able to notice that. So The fuck am I doing? Hold on, let me go back to the photo. Sorry. So he also says, I've seen it all, barely any local numbers in their WhatsApp. I've seen a lot of +1, +90 in other countries. Now, I was at the gym a couple weeks ago and I seen this really good looking black Brazilian chick. And I noticed she was going on her phone back and forth with the translator. Clearly, let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, she's talking to some dude from another country. More than likely, uh, given that we're in Brazil, it's either the United States or somewhere in Europe. Okay, Brazilians. I mean, yeah, Brazilians are more used to Europeans more than Americans, if you ask me. Okay, as if you ask me, I'm no expert, but I want to say something to him about this. I looked up a few of these area codes. Now I know right off the bat, +1 is United States, +44 is the United Kingdom. But I looked up a few other of these. One of them was Denmark. Okay, cool. But one of them was Turkey and Pakistan. Now, I'm not saying Turkey's a poor country, but has anybody, and I hope I'm not being ignorant to the world economy, but has anybody ever thought of men born and living in Pakistan as being competition to an American? For the last time I checked, let's look up the poverty rate in Pakistan. So it says for 2022, the national increase. Let's see. Sheesh. So it says the poverty rate for 2018 was 77%. That's damn near everybody. I mean, let's see what it is today, but after seeing that number, can't be too much different. Shit. So for him to put Pakistan in there, I just don't. I've never thought of Pakistan as being a damn competition. I mean, no, I would have never. So I don't know why he threw that in there. I don't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did not know Pakistan was any. No, no. There's Pakistani. There's plenty of Pakistani immigrants in New York and other places, and in Texas too. That should tell you enough. Anytime we got a lot of immigrants come to the United States, something ain't right. I mean, last year Joe Biden just had them drop off a bunch of Afghani immigrants. So only reason people immigrate to the United States is if they're fleeing, they're refugees, or for work. And yeah, so no. He says all I'm gonna say is if you're in the midst of game or you be not traveled for this. I don't understand him very well, but you not be traveled this. Adjust your expectations. There's still plenty of good cheeks, but brothers that are trying to date for love are gonna suffer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to disagree with him. I would like to know where has he gone in South America, because even in Rio, Rio is a big tourist hotspot, and I feel like you could still find love there. But at what age range of women is he dealing with? Because we talked about last night, if they're 18, 19, they're stupid. They're usually fucking stupid. But if they're 20, if they are 25, 26, they've learned enough and they have more substance. So I don't know. It all depends on what you're looking for. He says these girls are becoming experts, and you need to have the mindset that it's all a game. Shows lots of affection, but be unattached. Uh, I would say that goes for any woman in the world. That yes, show her that you're into her, that you love her, you like her, but never get your emotions too invested because you could still get your heart broken. But being in South America, I don't know, dude. I you have a chance of finding love in South America. I've only been to Salvador, Salvador Bahia, Rio, Recife. You damn sure got a good chance of finding love in Recife because ain't shit going on over there. There's no other American. There are no, from what I seen, I didn't meet one foreigner in Recife. I've met foreigners here in Salvador, not as many as Rio. I met nothing but foreigners, it seemed like, in Pattaya and Medellin. So where are you going? That's the real question. Uh, my tip is, if you haven't started yet, spend some time on the ground, and once or twice in the next year in the country of your choice. We really don't need any more bros in Colombia, and that's what I was just saying. So he's in Colombia saying that. What did I show y'all when I went? Colombia was Medellin was damn near like America because of how many tourists there were. So I don't know if he's been anywhere else, but you cannot base you cannot base the entire Latin America, which is Central and South America. You cannot base that off Colombia. I don't know all the facts. I don't know where he's been, but let me just say this: if he's only been to Colombia, and it doesn't sound like it, he says he went to El Salvador too. Uh, yeah, there's so many countries that's a hell of a deterrent. Let me read the rest of it. So make your plan. I'm looking at more untouched countries like El Salvador. I need to get off the beaten track. Just tips for my ninjas. Yes, El Salvador is a country that a lot of people don't talk about. The media propagandizes it to be this super dangerous, you're going to get your head chopped off country, which you might if you go to those places where it happens. But I know plenty of people that have been to El Salvador. You got El Salvador. You have what are the two countries south of Brazil? Paraguay, Uruguay. Who the hell is going there? I've heard when you go there, people are taking pictures of you because I could if you're black, I could imagine there's not a lot of tour. When was the last time you heard about anybody going to either one of those countries? Paraguay, Uruguay, Guyana, uh, what is it? Suriname, whatever, however you say that. It's right above Brazil. You got Venezuela, which I heard isn't safe anymore for Americans. Argentina, Chile. When was the last time y'all went to Chile? When was the last time you went to Argentina outside of Buenos Aires? But when was the last time you went there, period? You got Ecuador, uh, Guadalupe, Cuba. There's no way in hell that Americans cannot flood these countries. Look, let's say I have 1 million subscribers and I'm a passport bro promoter, which I am. I don't have 1 million subscribers yet though. Out of those million people that follow me, let's just assume that they're all men. How many of those men are actually going to get their passport and go overseas because it's that bad? How many of those men are actually going to get their passport and go overseas because it's that bad? Does anybody? I mean, I don't see that. Out of 1 million, at best, 1% of those men will go overseas. Okay, so that's 10,000. Out of 10,000, how many of them can frequent these places enough to destroy the culture there? Which I think legislation would happen before that. Out of 1 million people that follow me, 10,000 would go overseas. Okay, that's just a realistic number. We can go higher than that, but it's still bullshit. 10,000, 1% of that. Okay, 1% of that is going to do what I did, which is move and never come back. Maybe 50% of that can actually frequent enough to go every 6 months. So you got to think about the financials behind this. These women eventually are going to learn to vet you out and say, "Hey, are you living down here? Or how long are you going to be here?" That way she can know how to deal with your ass. Okay? Because I know if I was a Brazilian woman and these Americans came down here and they don't really want nothing, they just want to smash you, and you're looking for a relationship, but the Americans just want to smash you and leave. Well, she's gonna start to dig deeper. Hey, let me see where you stay at. She's gonna try to make sure that you're not leaving before she takes you that serious. So let's leave. Let's open up the call line. I'm gonna open up the call line for 30 minutes. It's 2:25 p.m. over here. I'm gonna close it at 3. I'm not gonna take any more calls at 3. So I'm gonna drop the call link below. It's in the chat right now. Now, to give you guys my opinion, no. I don't think that everything's about to change. Let's read a couple of these super chats before we take in calls. In Thailand, you said you had too much banging. Were those cold approaches or bar girls? How did the non-working girls respond to Thai girls respond to cold approaches? I'm gonna be. I already said this before. When I went to Thailand, there was so many working girls. That's pretty much all I had. I didn't pay every time, but there was 2 or 3 chicks that just. I went to 808 and they just came home with me. They didn't charge me or nothing, but I couldn't cold approach. The times I did cold approach, I got rejected. And I don't know. I wasn't really feeling Pattaya on the whole. It was good for a good time, but for me to find somebody that I like and to talk to on a regular basis, no. I can tell I would have to be there a lot longer, and I wasn't willing to do that. Thailand is a getaway for me. Thanks for your super chat. Politically, yes. Culturally, no. Economically, I don't think much will change for those G7 currencies. Yes. If things get too bad with the tourism that we know about, what will happen is these countries will start enforcing visas. Brazil once had a visa. I don't think South America is turning to North America. Yes, the internet and cell phones has what made the world smaller and ideas can spread. Most foreign women were raised to be wise before they ever saw an iPhone. Thank you very much for that $20 super chat, Gail Nelson. And yes, there's women down here that speak English in Brazil that act similar to women in the United States. But the patriarchy down here is real. Okay, so the stuff is not going to change that much. In Thailand, oh, he sent it again. Appreciate that super chat for a second time. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring in a few people that have called. Somebody said no pookies in Brazil. Don't worry, you can't show your ass in Brazil, especially not in Rio. Just know that. What's going on?
Olá, boa tarde. Como vai?
Como você estás?
Bem, você?
Muito bem.
Yeah,
So
that was
go
me.
ahead.
Yeah, so I followed you for a little minute now, but I actually just came back from Barra de Juca in Rio. So I run in a lot of circles. I'm black, obviously, but I run in a lot of circles.
Can't hear you. Got it on mute.
Oh, shit, might be. Running a lot of circles with white guys, and this topic comes up quite a bit about will South America turn into North America? My answer is emphatically fuck ass no. After going to Brazil, I went to Colombia, Argentina, Brazil. Not maybe Colombia because it's a little closer. Like it can kind of get a little influence, especially in Medellin. But Brazil, outside of Rio, I could tell it's like hard to crack. Like you got to really know Portuguese. The women, they kind of got their own. They Ludmilla's big. Ludmilla's not big in the U.S. MC Zach is big in Brazil. He's not big in the U.S. Anita's big in Brazil. She's kind of big in the U.S. So it's like a completely. I would say Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay are like. It's hard to crack. Like you really got to know Spanish. You got to understand the culture, the dynamic. Like you can't. Colombia, I think that could maybe go, but I'm gonna be real. Brazil, and you know this, man. You live in Salvador. Like it's you can't just come up off a flight there and just run off the ground if you speak no Portuguese, don't understand the culture, and don't understand the dynamics.
No, it doesn't work that way. You come down here to Brazil with little to no knowledge about anything, you're gonna get a wake up call.
Exactly, and even it was like that for me in Rio because it was my first time going to Rio, and I ran into a chick actually who just came. She's from Sao Paulo. It was a white Branca, white Brazilian chick. But she kind of she had that lives in Sao Paulo, just visited LA for like a 3-month stint. And even she kind of it wasn't super American, but she had some American chick type of attitudes. So you run into it, especially in like I think in those like southern states with the Brazilians that have money that can afford to go to the US. But I'm gonna be real, man. Like the white boys know this shit. Like Brazil, it's hard to crack. The white boys like that travel, like they're on Twitter. I could, if you want to have some accounts, I can send you a link to them in the back chat. But like they know that Brazil, especially, it's super hard to crack that country. Because you got to have to some degree game. I think your body game has to be on point too, and you got to understand the difference between like Northeast Brazil, Recife, and Salvador versus Porto Alegre, Curitiba. It's just different cultures. So I hope I'm not rambling and I'm making sense.
No, you're good.
And also I want to say this: if you want El Salvador over Brazil, that's fucking weird because Brazil has like amazing beaches. Like everybody knows that Brazil has phenomenal beaches. You're going to Central America for a beach, that's like hustling backwards.
Yeah. Brazil is best for beaches, I would say.
It is by far. That's all I want to say. I'm kind of walking around, so I was out of breath for a second, but yeah, Brazil is by Brazil. Like that's all I can say. Like I'm all in on Brazil. There's Americans really can't ruin it, and you really got to know how to understand those dynamics. But yeah, before I hop off here, have you checked out Argentina at all?
No, I thought about going down there. I thought about going down there.
You might want to check it out. It's dirt cheap. I'll tell you that, and it's not it's not a lot of Americans, but you will get stared at. I will tell you that.
Wow,
there's not a lot of black. When I went, it was like I saw maybe like 8 black people.
Wow.
Whole time there, so it is super white. But I would say it's a if you got a shorty, I would say it's a good spot to bring a girl to on a date. Not a date, but like a little getaway type thing. But the women there, okay. They're not bad. It is a little bit more cat and mouse to me. But everything is cheap. I will tell you that. But make sure you bring cash because their currency is fucked up. It's like super duper fucked up. But yeah, you might want to check it out. It's not worth leaving like Brazil tomorrow for. But if you got time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check out everywhere in South America at some point.
Even Paraguay, man.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about it, but I'm gonna do it just to say I did it.
That's a white boy spot, man. They love going over there for the low taxes. They're like a tax haven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I thought it was funny when you said it. The white boys know this. That's why I hang around them. I don't kick it with them like that, but they know how to do all this like business international. So they love Buenos Aires because it's safe and clean. They like Paraguay for the low taxes, and they'll hang around Southern Brazil for the white Brazilian women.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man, and giving me your input. And thank you for all the support.
Yeah, good shit. All right, man. Peace.
Yes, sir. Thanks to caller again for calling in. We're gonna do about 2 minutes per caller, so we're gonna go ahead and let Game Changer come in. How you doing?
Pretty good, Austin. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, great. I was wondering if because I'm a routine traveler, I go on vacation and stuff, but I don't live there like you and One Master Teacher. Have the two of you ever considered doing something like do's and don'ts to assure that places like Brazil don't turn into North America, like codes of conduct for brothers?
I say it here and there in my videos, but it would be a good idea to come out with a video strictly about how to prevent Brazil, how to prevent creating the same culture in South America or anywhere else that we have in South, and the same as in North America. You know what I'm saying? North America, sorry. Yeah.
Right. Ways to not turn South America into North America. I got you.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's all I came up for. I look forward to that. From what I've seen when I travel, it doesn't seem like I've only been to Rio. That's the only place in Brazil that I've been to, but it doesn't seem like they are turning to North America anytime soon. However, anything is possible, and we want to prevent that at all costs, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, any advice that the two of you brothers can give on that would be very helpful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to hold up your show or anything.
Oh, you good? I appreciate it, man.
Okay,
I
thanks a
appreciate
lot.
it as well.
All right.
All right, how you doing?
Good, thanks. I think South America will not become like North America, and that's for a few different reasons. The culture in South America is not going to change. What will happen is you'll have a mixture of Western and American influence. Portuguese, for example, Portuguese is a harder language to learn than Spanish, and the distance from the United States to Rio is a deterrent. You can get on a flight from the US to Colombia or the Dominican Republic. It's a 3-hour flight. It's a 6 to 8 hour flight to Brazil. Most people don't want to sit on a plane for 6 to 8 hours. It's not gonna deter people from going to Brazil, but you're gonna have the people like yourself who are serious about being in Brazil. It might be looking for a wife that will go to Brazil. Everyone knows. I lived in Medellin for 3 years. I lived in Cali for a year. I'll tell you what Colombia's like. Medellin in 2017, I lived there from 2008 to 2011 in Medellin, Colombia. Great place to live. The experiences you're having in Brazil is what I had in Colombia. Today, if you're looking for a good woman, here's the problem with Medellin. Medellin's a liberal city. These people have the Paisa culture, but it's very liberal. So the foreigners, I will give you a great example. I know a guy who's financing his so-called girlfriend's lifestyle, sending her $1,000 every month, buying her cell phones. This guy is in his 30s. She's 21. On a scale of 1 to 10, she's an 8. Okay? So she's hot. But here's the problem. He's assuming this is his girlfriend, but she's a pro. Do you understand? So he's assuming it's his girlfriend. She's playing him. If she gets 4 Westerners, not just Americans, but Europeans as well and Canadians, to give her $1,000 a month, that's $4,000 a month. How many other women are doing this in Colombia? Brazil's not affected yet, but Colombia, 100%. I lived in Colombia for 6 years. I was on the ground and I seen this firsthand. I will tell you my last opinion because you said 2 minutes. I used to chase, I wouldn't go for the 8s, 9s, and 10s because I was looking, I'm like literally, I'm 42 years old. I'm looking for a woman that's between a certain age. I would say 25 to 33, so I can have kids, right? So I would target the women that aren't 8, 9s, and 10s because I know she may have 3 or 4 Western boyfriends sending her money every month, or you got to finance a high lifestyle. In order to do that in Colombia, for example, you have to, if it's a 8, 9, or 10, you're going to have to spend at least $1,500 a month to maintain her lifestyle. I'll say this last point. I'll make this last point and I will get off. If she comes from, in Colombia, they have a stratus system. It's 1 to 6. The higher up the stratus, the closer you get to 6, they're rich. Stratus 1 and 2 are poor and working poor. You can easily find a girlfriend in that stratus. And that's what this guy did I told you about. His girlfriend is stratus 2. So, you know, you can find that, but she's looking for a meal ticket. She wants to leave the country, or she's looking for you to finance her lifestyle in that country. And she's also a professional on the side. I met a pro who was a fiance to a guy from Arizona, and she was a professional in Colombia. While she's waiting for the visa to get processed, she's still a prostitute. And so Yeah, dude. I can tell you stories, but it's a 2 minute, so I'm gonna get off. I'll call in another time. Whenever you allow us to call back in, if you want me to, I'll call back in and tell you more. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that is a problem. We got a lot of dudes. First of all, if you're paying a woman and she's a pro, that is not your girl. Like that's that's just I don't know how people don't understand that. That's like going in the barber shop thinking because you paid the barber one time, he only cutting your hair. He ain't gonna cut nobody else. No, that's not how that works. She provides a service, that's her job. Okay, let's get to the next caller. We got Flacco, I believe is how you say it.
Yeah, Flacco,
How you
Flacco.
doing? Flacco,
Auston,
Flacco.
what's the vibe, my guy? How's everything?
Yeah, everything is going great out here. How's it going with you?
Hey man, right now, I'm actually just waiting to. I got a little leg injury going on right now, so once this is over, I'll be back traveling. But I've been tuning into you for a minute, for a while now, and I'm definitely one of your main supporters. So far as the topic, would Brazil turn into like places like what Colombia is? Honestly, I don't see it because the way you like promote it, and from what I'm seeing, it doesn't seem to be like the lifestyle that the women in Colombia want or any other country like DR. So I did have one question I wanted to ask you. Ever since you've migrated to Brazil, what's the difference from like you traveling to other countries but Brazil being the it factor, it being the one?
See, I'm not gonna say it's the finances because Thailand was super cheap.
Got you.
So it's not the money, but it's just that culture, man. It's something about the energy here in Brazil that just fits what I've always been looking for in the States. And that's that combining that with the beautiful women and the good food, all that makes it's just a vibe every day out here in Brazil. But like the last guy was saying, Brazil is too far. Like you can't just fly straight. I think the only two cities internationally you could fly straight into from Brazil is Sao Paulo and Rio. So from the United States, that's at least 8 hours to either city, either way it goes. From Dallas, that's 11 hours.
I think I checked something like that because I'm in New York. Like I'm from Brooklyn, so when I actually looked over the flights, it did say something about a 9 hour flight, 8 hour flight from where I'm at in New York. So yeah, I've seen that. I've spent some time in like Central America, South America, and even in North America. But I would have to say by far, like I hear a lot of great reviews about Brazil. I'm not saying that I'm iffy if I want to come or not. One thing I do know is that you do preach a lot. Learn the language. If you learn the language, or 30% of the language, you probably wouldn't have a problem coming out there. So, yeah, I'm definitely kind of on that route. But my next trip is to the Philippines. Not so
Okay.
much Thailand, but more the Philippines because of the culture of like not a lot of 304s. They don't birth. I mean, universally where you go, most women are the same. But I could say from the Philippines, they don't really birth the 304s like how they being birthed at certain other parts of the country where everything is a handout for money, if you get what I mean.
I've heard
So
that.
so far as Brazil, I ain't gonna lie, man. You're like a great ambassador from what I be seeing out there. So I'm gonna definitely have to make that trip. And um, I'm a little older than you. I'm 34. So a lot of
Mhm.
people they try to throw slack on, be like, well, Austin, he's young. He doesn't have that much experience. I tell people off rip, listen, that's a younger generation who understands what's going on here in the Western culture with dating. So the fact that you picked up and you move to Brazil, coming from a place like Dallas, bro, I totally understand you. Keep doing what you're doing. You got a lot of us in our bag, even myself. I plan on moving to the Philippines around the year 2025. And this passport bro movement is bigger than what people want to throw the dirt on the name, is way more bigger than that. And you, Yes Brazil, y'all like big ambassadors for what the passport bro stand for. I'm definitely a passport bro. We're gonna keep the movement pushing and keep doing your thing, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for all that support. I also want to say this too. The reason places like outside of Central America, like Brazil, are not going to get messed up is because you have to have a certain level of you have to have something going for yourself in order to take off at least a week. It's not a weekend trip like the DR or Jamaica. You can't go there for 2 days.
Nah,
Nobody's getting on a plane for 8 hours, 11 hours to turn around 3 days later, 2 days later. People just ain't doing that. So the Philippines, I was telling people if you're going to Asia, you need to add 4 days to whatever you plan to stay. So I wanted to do at least what was it, at least 12 days. So I stayed for 16 days because it's gonna take you a day to get there.
got you.
You're gonna take a day for jet lag. It's gonna take you a day to get back and a day for jet lag for that. So that's 4 days that you really not gonna get to enjoy like that. And the average person making 30 grand, 40 grand ain't gonna be able to do that.
That's a fact, and that's one of the things I looked at with my flight because I told myself I'm gonna do 2 weeks in the Philippines and another 2 weeks in Thailand, just to get the overall feel. And from when I read it on my flight, like I said, me coming from New York going to Manila, it's about a 14-hour ride. I would say 20-hour plane ride, and you're pretty much gonna be in the air for 2 days. So yeah, I'm gonna do a month. I'm probably gonna do a month straight there.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. A month would be great. A month
And
would be great.
I'm definitely gonna plan this trip to come to Brazil somewhere around this summer. And when I do that, I'll definitely try to get in contact with you. Once I put my Instagram back up, or if you got an email, I'll definitely link you when I'm out there, and we could definitely see what's up, bro.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'll be looking forward to it.
Definitely, bro. Have a good one, my guy.
You as well.
Definitely.
Mark, I see you typed in the chat, but it says your device is not connected, so it's not even letting me add you to the stream. I'm gonna add Dominique, and then whenever you get through, we'll come back. What's going on?
Good, bro? What's good, bro? How you doing? I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great.
Man, I just want to say, bro, shout out to you, bro. Everything you saying is true, bro. You know, I've been to Brazil. I was playing basketball there. And I went to, we was traveling all through like, I started in Sao Paulo, and then we would go to like Santos. We would go to different cities, bro. And it's just everything you and Fred are saying, bro, is just spot on. And I try to tell my homeboys that they were like, man, I don't even want to go to Brazil. I'm like, man, it's dangerous. I'm like, how? I'm like, it's one of the most peaceful places I've been to, bro. I done been to the Middle East, Europe, for basketball and everything. And let me tell you something, bro. It's everything that you saying is just true. And then as far as like, it turning into North America, I highly doubt it because, I mean, it's a possibility, but I highly doubt it because the culture is just so entrenched into the people and into just the society of Brazil. I doubt it'll even get there or even close. And then also, with the food is fresher. I'm vegetarian, so the food is a lot fresher. Everything tastes better. It's warmer. I like warm weather. And I even told myself, I said, man, if I ever come back here, bro, I'm definitely coming back to whatever city I want to go to because just Brazil in general is just amazing. And I wish guys would listen up and not be so tuned into the media and the negative headlines and all that, because you just got to get in touch with the right people and you just got to know how to move and learn the language. It was hard for me to learn the language in countries I didn't know because the coach would just do everything for us. And then he would be like, all right, well, you're out there by yourself now. We didn't have practice or a game. And it would be hard for us to navigate because we didn't know shit. So everything you're saying is spot on, brother. And I'm definitely going to slide out there and come mess with y'all.
I appreciate it, bro. We'll be looking forward to seeing you.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We got one last caller right here. How's it going? I recognize your avatar.
Hello, Auston Holleman. I have been following you since you first put out the video, Why You Don't Date in the U.S. Anymore, and that was when I woke up. Now, I have since actually been to Colombia myself. Yes. Went there with my father on a trip. Him and I are in a very good relationship now. And him and I both watch your videos together, and he agrees 100% with the video, with all of your videos and all the advice you give. So I only have 2 minutes, so I'll go ahead and cover a couple things. First of all, no, I do not believe Brazil or any South American nation is going to be like anything like the U.S. Most of the reasons I give are the ones that everyone else has already given right now, but I'll give another one real quick. People in Brazil, Colombia, and Uruguay, by the way, heavily disagree with you on that country. I'll get to why in a bit.
Okay.
They laugh at the people in the U.S. The women look over to the women here in the U.S. is like, you don't even clean, you barely even work, and you expect all these different things like 6 feet tall, 6 figures, all these ridiculous standards. And they also look at the average man in the U.S., which, let's face it, the average man in the U.S. is blue-pilled, porn addicted, severely out of shape, doesn't go to the gym. Like,
Yeah.
men and the women within South America, they look at the culture of the U.S. and they laugh at it. Now, no doubt, there's still going to be some women that like the idea of feminism, that like the idea of ruling the house, ruling over the man, having all these standards, having the entitlement. However, and I apologize if I'm speaking too fast. You want me to slow it down?
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, man, I appreciate it. Anyway, they see these issues on the internet. They see also all the statistics of everything going wrong in the U.S. It does. And women and men over down there are smart. They see everything that goes on in the U.S., like single motherhood is going up, crime rates are going up, lots of political and racial divide, all these issues of the family unit. They do not want to become like us, not the men, not the women. They do, and word gets around. If you educate these people into all the issues of the U.S. and what happens, they will stay very, very far away from it. So on top of things that everybody else has brought up, people there are very well educated, contrary to what feminists in the U.S. say. They say equal rights and they care about the women, but they always downplay how smart and overplay how underdeveloped and poor these countries are, which ironic, but whatever. Yeah, the women down there, they know, they are smart. They see the family units falling apart. They see the country falling apart, and they do not want their country being like ours is in the U.S. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up, you said you weren't looking forward to Uruguay or Paraguay. You mind going into detail real quick?
It may be because I haven't heard much about it and I haven't done research over it. But Spanish-speaking countries are hard. Spanish-speaking countries are hard for me to go to anyway, just because I'm in love with the Portuguese language right now. And like Argentina, I'm gonna go, but I'm not looking forward to it like I would be for another city in Brazil.
Yeah,
but tell me why about Uruguay.
So first of all, Uruguay and Paraguay. There is a man named Caleb Jones on YouTube who goes into detail about those countries, so he goes into more detail better than I can. However, just to go over it real quick, first of all, Uruguay and Paraguay's economics are fantastic. They're disconnected from the rest of South America for the most part, and they're very independent on their own. So if the U.S. or other Western nations crash, they're going to be a lot less affected economically. Like if the U.S. collapsed one day, and believe me, it's going to collapse one day, there's more reasons to get out of the U.S. than just the women. But
yeah,
Uruguay and Paraguay would not be affected. They don't rely on the U.S. as trading partners. They don't rely on it for economics. So they are very self-sustained, very independent, very strong countries. The second thing is there aren't a lot of tourists in Uruguay and Paraguay. That is absolutely correct. They mainly locate around Colombia or Brazil. That being said, oh, I can't see your cam.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. But that's what makes things a lot better. When you go to see a woman in Paraguay or Uruguay, and they're going to be interested in what kind of culture you come from because they don't get a lot of tourists. They don't get a lot of people to discuss. And that makes for very fun and interesting conversations, learning more about their culture. They learn more about yours. They don't see a lot of people like you. So you bring a lot of ideas and interesting details about your culture to the table up front. And it makes for great first dates, makes for very interesting time together. It makes for a very valuable and intimate dates, especially near the start. So I understand why you're not super excited about Paraguay and Uruguay, but I think you're underselling those countries quite a lot. They are very fun nations. Their women are excellent, and they have great first dates. And the women there are very traditional. I will say, if you're looking for like sleeping around or one-time things, probably not going to get them back down there. They only want committed relationships. So it's going to be very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be very difficult for you to do so. So just keep that in mind. But those are very good nations. And Paraguay is one of my favorite nations in South America.
Okay. Yeah, that was good information. I'm definitely going to check it out so I could bring some more, valid information rather than my assumptions. And that was a very respectable way of disagreeing. See, people say I take criticism harsh. You just disagreed, but you actually gave me something I could take back from that.
See, here's the thing with disagreements. if people are getting angry at you because you're disagreeing with them, that means they don't have any actual points to bring to the table to disagree with you. When I hear, oh, I don't know about Paraguay or Uruguay, I don't see anything special about them, I'm like, no, I can discuss this. I can disprove this. No disrespect when I intended when I say that, but it's like, here, these are my points. Check this out. Think about this. Put this in mind. Yes. Anyway, I don't know how much time I have on here. I just about out of time, or is there something else I can mention?
Go ahead. You're the last one.
Just on something a little bit off topic. Most of my knowledge when it comes to foreign nations and women is primarily the Middle East. So Israel, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, Iraq. That's usually my area of expertise, not as much towards South America. I'll definitely say if you are looking for a committed relationship, Israel, and if you're a Muslim, basically any nation in the Middle East, to tell you the truth, Israel is a very good nation as well. They are definitely checking for black brothers. That's very good. But it's worth noting that women in Israel, that mandatory services for everybody, including men and women. So women there can be a little bit more masculine, but specifically they're very blunt and straight to the point. They won't argue with you or give you any bullshit, which is excellent. And they will make it up front if they're interested in you or not. A lot of guys go to Israel and then they ask a woman and they're like, no, I don't care. And they think that women there are very cold. Really, they're just not interested, because if they were interested, it's not like the US where a woman is not going to approach you even if she's interested in you. If a woman in Israel wants you, she'll approach you, she'll have you. It's that simple. They're very blunt, very straightforward, very professional. And if you do get into a relationship with one, it's very fulfilling and it's very strong. That's all I wanted to say. Have yourself a very nice day. You were the one who got me to the passport bro movement. I admit I was didn't want any kind of, yeah, pretty much what that guy said. But like I said, thank you very much for the videos. You got me into the passport movement, and I really appreciate all the work you've done. I've been there since the beginning, and I'll be there until the end. Take care of yourself. Have a very nice day, man. Take care.
Thank you. You as well.
God bless.
You too. So somebody said that Israel is racist to blacks as to Ethiopians. Ethiopians and Black Americans aren't going to have the same experience, if you ask me. I mean, that's like when people say, "Oh, Brazil's not as good as y'all make it seem." It is for us because we're not from Brazil. I mean, I told y'all in Brazil the first time I came here, like the day before I left, the police pulled us out of the car and put 2 assault rifles in my face. And I told them I was from the United States, and both the lasers turned off and the assault rifles went down, and we left. Not if I would say, "Oh, I'm from Salvador, but I'm in Rio right now." Do you think those assault rifles would have went anywhere? You're still a Brazilian. So yeah. We're foreigners. We're not locals, so things are going to be different. I haven't been to Israel, so I can't say that, but I mean, I think it's a very good assumption that I made by saying that. So let's watch Fred's video right here. Let me turn off the music. And we're going to review his video, and then I'm going to try Cape Verde as well, too. We're going to review his video, and then we're going to do that. Raw Dog Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I can't add any more people. Okay.
It's your boy Black Friend. We got another topic that's really something that you guys should know. But it's a very, very serious topic. You see the title of the video. We're not gonna waste no time. Let's get right in. So you see the title of the video, and you're like, "Damn, bro, there's a lot of single black women in Brazil." Absolutely, there's a high demand of single black women in Brazil, and
almost every black woman I've dealt with, literally almost, has a child. Let me go back and think. The first chick I dealt with in Rio had 2 children. The one after that didn't. I think that second trip to Rio, I had a bunch of chicks that didn't have kids. But then when I came back, another one did. In Salvador, the first, second, third, fourth. I told Fred the other day, I think that was yesterday. I said, and I put a tweet out too. I was like, what's up with single mothers loving me? I seem to attract a lot of single mothers.
This video is going to be, I'm gonna chop it up because I got a few talking points I want to go over, but there's a lot of Black single women in Brazil, bro. And I know a lot of you guys, let's keep it 100. A lot of you, there's some, I see in the comments, there's a very, very small percentage of people who come to Brazil who want to desire and look and seek out white women. But I think I can speak for most American men, most Black American men. Y'all not coming to Brazil for white women, bro. Let's just keep it 100. Y'all want the Black chicks, whether it be dark skin, chocolate, brown skin, caramel, yellow bone, red bone, and everything in between. You know what I'm saying? Most dudes are not coming to Brazil for white women. And I can say that because I see the comments of the videos that I post. You know what I'm saying? And I see other people's videos. They asking, where the dark skin chicks at? Where the Black girls at? I don't see too many people saying, where the white girls in Brazil? My next point, when you walk down the street, right, you're gonna see hella groups of women together. You don't see too many Black on Black couples, at least in the areas that I be in. You don't see it too much. If you do see, or if you do meet a couple that are two Black people together, they're together for maybe at the most that I've seen 2 months, 3 months, a week, and then you see them again, you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying, how such and such, blah, blah, oh, we split up. Bro, I've met so many chicks who I talked, oh, I got a boyfriend, and then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, a month later, they single again. That shit happens. It runs rampant here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see a lot, you're gonna meet a lot of single Black women, and you're gonna see a lot of Black women with white men. And that's due to the white supremacy that is still very, very, very potent and very, very real in Brazil. Not too often, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna visually see Black men in Brazil with white women. You're not gonna see that too much, but you will see Black chicks walking and cuffed up with white men.
I noticed that before I even came to Brazil the first time, that a lot of Black chicks are seeking out white men. That's sometimes there's more white women here that won't talk to you, maybe because you're Black. I'm not sure why, but there is a small amount of Black women here that don't want Black men, even if they. I mean, I guess maybe they don't know because I'm a gringo or not, but they must not know because they associate that with a class standard. Which I'm from America. I'm in a different class in Brazil, whether if I'm Black or not. But there's been chicks that saw me get at, and Fred saw it too, that a chick said that she was disgusted because a white chick was looking at me. And so I spoke to her. I like everybody. And the Black chick said she was completely turned off by me because she even saw that, because most Black Brazilian men do that same thing. They just use the Black women for sex and they want to actually, date a white woman.
It's very, very popular here. And that's, like I said, that's due to the white supremacy. You don't have racism very, very in your face like in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out, you're not going to see embarrassing shit. You're not going to see people acting crazy as far as racism shit too much. You're not going to see that as much as you will in the United States. But they have a lot of conditioning, underlying shit that happens here in Brazil.
I don't want to say this too. I read up a while back that there was so many, whenever they abolished slavery in 1888, I believe it was 1888 in Brazil, 80% of the entire population of the country was Black because they had way more slaves in Brazil. They had way more slaves in Brazil than they had in the United States. And so the Portuguese were intimidated by, well, I should say the Brazilians because they had independence by then. The Brazilians were intimidated and they were afraid of that many Black people being able to take them over. Because, recently in Haiti, they had taken over their government. So they encouraged the mixing of races in Brazil. And that's why you have the Brazilian race now. Like Brazil is diverse, but there is a certain type of person in Brazil where you can look at them and know right off the bat that they're from Brazil.
stuff that you're just not gonna see just walking out on an everyday basis. But black dudes also seek out white women because
And they encourage Europeans from Portugal to come immigrate to Brazil to whiten up the population as well.
they think that they're gonna have a better social class, a better life dealing with a white woman, having a baby with a white woman. And it's the same for it's the same for the black women who date white men, right? But it's just a sad reality to keep it 100. But you don't see it more with black women dating white men than black men with white women. And really and truly, guys, it ain't gonna make a difference. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the women have a better chance having a better life with a white man than a black guy having a better life with a white woman. The white woman, right? To have the quote unquote better life, the lighter skinned kids, or whatever the case, the better status. They will marry the white woman, but then they'll treat the black chicks like bust downs, right? And a lot of the women here say that, you know what I'm saying? And I see it. I have Brazilian friends as well, and I see it. And it's crazy to think, bro. And I would say 90% of these black chicks are absolutely gorgeous, bro. They're gorgeous, and they look way better than a lot of these white Brazilians. Now, they have beautiful white Brazilians. Now, don't get it fucked up. They have beautiful white Brazilians. But me personally, I'm attracted to black Brazilians, but I'm attracted to all women. It doesn't really matter, but my preference is black. You feel me? All different shades of melanin. But a lot of these white chicks that they be cuffed up with do not even be bad, bro. I've seen some of the top status black dudes here in Brazil, the clubs. I know them personally. And I see they chicks, and I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, dog. Like, you could have did a little better than that. And I know it's going to contradict what I said as far as looks and everything, but goddamn, bro. I got to be at least, you know what I'm saying? That's my chick. I got to at least be happy the fact that I get to look at you. I'm not just going to marry and cuff up no white chick just for the color of her skin, bro. Just to say I got a white chick. I can get in certain places. People not going to look at me weird. A lot of these dudes be cuffing up chicks just to say they got a white chick just for that status factor. You know what I'm saying? They just say fuck it with all the black chicks. You know what I'm saying? So if you come to Brazil and you meet a black chick, ask her what she thinks about that. And if she's gonna keep it 100, it's gonna be the same exact answer, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that shit is very, very prominent here in Brazil. So me personally, you know what I'm saying? You gonna do what you want to do, right? But Brazil has everything that you have if you want. You want black, you want white, you want Asian, you want Indian, whatever you want. You want mixtures, you know, German, Brazilians, all the type of shit. Argentinians and Brazilian. They have everything that you can desire here in Brazil.
Brazil, and I talked about this last night too. Brazil is almost as diverse as the United States. Like, it's literally damn near every race is in Brazil. I think the only thing that's not, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's not heavy in Brazil like it would be in the United States is like Middle Easterners. You can see they're not heavy in the United States, but everybody's met one, everybody's seen one. More than likely, everybody knows one. But in Brazil, I have yet to see somebody that's from the Middle East. They may look like it, but they're usually still from somewhere around here or another nearby country. I haven't met any Australians here, but I know they come here. I've met Africans here. There are Africans I've met that live here in Salvador. I met one of them, him and his wife, and he spoke English. I forgot what country he said he was from in Africa, but yeah, Brazil is diverse. Brazil is not as diverse as America, but it's not that far off.
Right, but I just want to tell you guys that there is a fuckload.
Now, I see Charles Jones said, Cap, there's plenty of Middle Easterners. Okay, I haven't been to Sao Paulo. That's why I said correct me if I'm wrong, though. But when I go to Sao Paulo, I'll see.
Of black women here that are just completely single. And it's to the point to where you'll see so many beautiful black women cuffed up with other beautiful black women, bro, because of this fucking shit that's going on. So it's crazy, bro. You're gonna meet a lot of bisexual black women, lesbian black women, women who just completely.
I 100% agree with that. There's been plenty of chicks that I've tried to get at, and they were not into men, and they weren't lying. Sometimes they lie. They use it as a defense mechanism. there's a lot of chicks that have swap sides, and they say because the same thing that shit in the United States says, oh, I'm just sick of men shit. You know, they say that here too because I mean you can't blame them, right? There's so many beautiful women. It would take me a while to adjust and actually want to settle down because there's endless options in Brazil. But maybe if I was from here, it'd be different. Um, because being from here, I guess I would be used to beautiful women. But yeah.
Just over the shit completely. It's a lot of different groups, and you know what I'm saying. It's honestly just comes down to the guys here in Brazil, bro. They don't really truly respect the black women like that. And if you ask any black woman, she's gonna tell you that shit. They don't truly respect them that much, but they put the white ones up on a pedestal. And you got to understand just the way the culture is, the country. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, I believe Brazil was the last place to abolish slavery, or one of the last places to abolish slavery. You go to any restaurant, the only black people you're going to see in there is the servers. You're not going to see too many black people sitting and enjoying the parties, the restaurants, the bars. They're going to be serving, right? They still have that servant mindset here in Brazil, and it's very, very visual when you go out to any place. If you've been to Brazil, you know that shit. And the only black people you're gonna see in there is you and whoever with you, right?
I 100% agree. It does seem like a plantation servant butler mindset type of thing. Every restaurant you go to, like he said, the black people in the kitchen, the white people are at the table. Literally. Unless if you're at some mom and pop shop where in a favela or even alongside the beach. I think in Baja is like the only area where I can see a good amount of black people sit down and eating, but it's still majority of white people sitting at the table, and black people are damn near 100% of the time in the kitchen. It's I don't know how long that's gonna take to go away, but it's definitely here. Even the first chick I dated in Rio was a nanny. She was a black nanny, and she took care of a white family. Very slave like. I didn't think of it at the time like a slave because she didn't behave in such a way that made it seem like it. But when I was in Leblon one day, I was walking around. There's this light skinned black chick with an afro. She looked really good. And she's pushing a stroller with a white baby in it, and a white woman's walking behind her. That's what's down here.
And maybe a few other token black that have a little bit more money than the average person. But for the most part, it's gonna be white people around, and then also the black people that serve it. That's it. And you have to think, bro, when you turn on the TV, if it was not for Instagram, if it was not for Netflix, all black people in Brazil would only see is white people on TV, bro. So thanks to social media and
Yes. And that the very ignorant American women that say we come to Brazil and it's not for black women. That's because Brazil 99% of the time is going to push out whites on TV. And honestly, there's more blacks and the native mix kind of, indigenous mixed with white or indigenous mixed with black type of people here than there are whites. But propaganda TV style stuff that only shows you that, and you see something completely different when you arrive in Brazil than what you were shown. Let me prove myself. Y'all have seen the women I posted on my interviews and then on the beach and stuff like that, right? Let's look up Brazilian women. Okay. How many black? Okay, these are black people, two of them, and they showed you the biggest set of black women they could show you right there. And they got these black women here, but they look poor. Overwhelmingly it's white, and then they got you thinking that it's people. There are still people like this in Brazil that's with spears and all these piercings and stuff, but it's nothing like what I show you. I mean, you've seen these types of women on my videos, but when I'm walking through the beach, but you don't see a lot of women like. Let me show you something on my page. Well, actually, I think I have the photo on my desktop. You don't see a lot of women like this when you look up Brazilian women. But that's in Recife, which is a mainly white city from what I saw. Or you don't see a lot of women like this one. Okay, so there is a suppression of what it really looks like to be down here.
And Netflix, right? And outlets like that is really the only reason why. Because when you turn on the TV here, they only have white. So it's conditioning. It's crazy, bro. Like I was sitting at a restaurant one day and they were just flipping through the TV channel. I'm like, God damn, bro, everything they show on TV is white. So I can only imagine years ago before Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Netflix, and all that shit, they was only thinking white was the thing to be.
And I also have heard, I seen in a documentary that they only had one black person in the federal government of Brazil. She was murdered, I think, in 2018. She was some sort of pro-feminist. I don't know the details, but she was murdered, so she's not there anymore. And then they had Bolsonaro had his, he had some black guy, and I think he was the equivalent to what's his name? It's somebody Donald Trump had that almost was like a puppet. And Bolsonaro had one of those too. So that is what it's like in Brazil.
So it's conditioning the hell out of them to think that white is right. You know what I'm saying? That's it, bro. I ain't gonna go too much into this video, but I want to let you guys know there's a shit ton of black women, beautiful black women that are single. So if that is your thing, Brazil is the place to be, bro. They got a lot of options scattered around this motherfucker, full of women who are ready to settle down. You know what I'm saying? That are ready and looking. It's hard for them, bro. You know what I'm saying? You'll meet some chick be like, bro, it's so fucking hard to find a guy who just wants to be with a black woman. There's a lot. You don't see too many black on black couples in the United States like that, bro. But there's chicks here who want and desire a black man. So let that be a news flash to all y'all. And for the dudes that like white women, hey, they got a free heart too. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to nobody. You like what you like. You like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe if you're new. Turn the goddamn bell notification on
so like he just said, make sure you guys go to his channel right here. He's in the chat as well right now. His name is Vibing with Fred. I'm with him. We speak every day. We're in the same city right now. Wow, that video got 12,000 views. Okay, so yeah. Y'all go help his channel out. He has recently crossed 4,000 subscribers. I know it says 3.96, but usually this is behind. So he's on his way to being monetized. I believe he's applying right now. So please show him some support so he can continue to stay in Brazil and bring you more content about Brazil. He's been here longer than me. He's been in Salvador longer than me. He's been in Brazil in total longer than me. So he knows more about this area than I do. So let's give him a helping hand. Go like his video, watch the video again. Share his channel, subscribe to his channel. Okay. Now about my channel, I'm about to wrap this up. I have some more shorts, some more shit talking shorts I'm about to drop. After this, I have a video that I'm about to drop about why I think American men should date Brazilian women. It's like a 12-minute video. I had a lot of energy before I went in the gym, so I went and did that, and I did it all off the top. Well, I didn't do it off the top of the head, but I just wrote a few bullet points. But you guys should like it. I'm gonna drop it here in about an hour and a half. It's 3:18 here right now. I'll do it about 5 o'clock, which is about 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Now, yeah, that's it. So be on the lookout. I'm about to drop some more videos. Remember, I'm here every day to convince you guys that you need to get the hell out of the United States. I'm not making none of this stuff up. It's really that bad. T-shirts on the way. I have already ordered mine. I'm waiting. I should have my updated design, and I'm just going to put it on the shirt, and I'm going to open up a link, and I'm going to announce whenever that link is available for you guys to buy the shirts. They are on the way. But thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys coming through. Please watch the video guy coming out. Please share the shorts. And remember, go like the Facebook page if you haven't already. The Auston Holleman. The THE, the Auston Holleman is my Facebook page. Like that. That's another source of income for me. I post there. Also, follow my Twitter. I talk shit daily. I don't know if y'all know this about me. I love when people think they got one up on me and I make them look stupid. Now, am I always doing that? No, I'm not always trying to argue. You saw a guy disagree with me a minute ago, and I listened to what he said. He said he disagreed with me strongly. I heard him out. I didn't cut him off. He didn't cut me off. I took something from his disagreement, and I'm gonna try out, whatever. But I enjoy debating too. So follow my Twitter if you want to see me cuss motherfuckers out. And TikTok. But yeah, get your passport, come to Brazil, come to another country. Let me read a couple of these super chats. I'm sorry. Thank you, an average man unplugged and Kings of Dreams, for helping me find my queen. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to hear. I am very glad to hear that you are getting married. Congratulations. And I'm glad to have some sort of effect on that. I'm really torn between Colombia and Brazil. I want to go to Bahia like you, but the plane ticket is $1,000 and something. I'm learning Spanish now. Starting Colombia, Medellin to be exact. Medellin, when I was there, I said it was a warm-up for Brazil. It's not Brazil, but it's definitely a warm-up. Brazil is a lot stronger, if you ask me. Thanks for having me on. Thank you for calling in, sir, giving us some good information. Appreciate the super chat. By the way, I've been to El Salvador too. Whoever compared El Salvador to Brazil is tripping. No comparisons at all, even though Salvador is nice. Appreciate that super chat. I'll check out El Salvador one day, and I'll see for myself what it's really like. But yeah, thank you for everybody for calling in. It's that bad. As I always say, get your passport, come overseas, get out the United States, really experience what we're talking about, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.